let's get started. So yeah, this last meeting went long, but hopefully it was useful to hear what everyone had to say there. But yeah, I expect to go an hour long, so I'm going to try and speed through some of this so you can listen to Eddie and Crystal. I'll introduce in a second. So just wanted to make this a little casual. First, I want to thank you guys for 2011. It really was so great to work with all of you, to meet a lot of you, to get some of you to join my team. It's been a pleasure. It's been, I know it's been tough, but I really think, and I hope everyone feels like we've improved, or we're at least heading in that direction. So I know a lot of stuff we've done is structural, where it was kind of very like, okay, well, how does it actually help me? I think we'll start seeing that this year. So thank you very much. While you guys have done a great job in 2011, I want us to think about 2012 as brand new. So whether you did a great job, bad job, whatever it is, let's just start 2011 brand new. Let's deliver the best we can to our customers. Let's do what we need to do for the business. And I know we can do all of it. I've seen you guys do it. You guys push yourselves really hard. And so I know working hard is not an issue. And I'm not worried about that at all. Like Laura said, we need to work smarter. We need to figure out how we can be better. Like, why is admin work taking so much time? What could we do? What specifically is it? How can we work together to reduce those sort of things? And you guys have to help tell me what the issues are, and I'm glad to give you guys the support, but we also need you guys to help us what the solution is, because what would be easiest for you? I mean, I don't know it as well as you know it, so, yeah, so there's some, yeah. But just in terms of, yeah, Melissa's team's going to join us to listen to Eddie's piece also. So 2011, 2012, we're starting fresh. I think we all need to take a look at ourselves. I sent out a note saying we should really feel proud of the work we've done, all the nonprofits we've helped. I know a lot of you work with nonprofits a lot, whether it's on a board or whether it's actually volunteering with the Hope Lodge. I mean, Elizabeth used to help with the triathlon for kids, which, you know, is kind of a nonprofit, maybe not. And a lot of you come from nonprofit backgrounds, but if you look at what we've done, it's so easy to think about them as clients. You know, like, oh my God, this client's horrible. But when you look at the number of people you've helped, and when you start thinking about indirectly how you've helped the mission of those organizations, I mean, it's millions of people. I mean, and by helping an organization raise money more effectively, they're able to spend more time helping more people and doing all these sort of things. So it's easy to lose sight of that. We need to remember that every now and then. But hopefully, that's one of the main reasons I joined Blackbaud, was so I could continue to help people like that and really have an opportunity to do that with our jobs. And I think we just need to remember that every now and then when you're on that escalated client who's really upset. You realize they're just upset because this is their passion. They spent so much money on the solution. They're expecting a level of service, and whether it's our fault, whether it's someone's fault, whatever it is, we need to make them validate their decision to buy with us. And being Blackbaud, owning the experience, it's going to require a lot of people to do that, but it has to start with us. Honestly, I truly believe that it starts with all of us, because we are the face of the client. We are the face of project delivery. Sales can say whatever they want, good, bad, whatever. The product is good. Our products are good, but we need to deliver that way as well. So I'm really challenging all of you to take that extra step this year. From a client satisfaction perspective, I want us to go that extra mile. Even when someone else isn't helping, rather than shut down and start worrying about it, let's think about how can we get everyone on board. If it's going to require a little extra work of you, can we fit that in somehow? Can we still make it work while still meeting our targets? I think we can. A lot of you have shown that you can do that. Some of you guys have, all of you right now, have incredible project workloads, but some of you guys have significantly higher than others. You're able to deliver with less admin time and have very happy clients. So I know it is possible. We just need to focus on whatever it is that would make us better and try and do that this year. So and the last thing I want to say is, my introduction, is we can do anything. Kevin Knight, Laura, Kevin Mooney, they've all come and told me, you can do what you want. Obviously within reason, but in terms of, I haven't heard anything, I don't know if anyone suggested something that I said, no, we cannot do that at all. I say, let's think about how actually can we implement it. So when you guys have issues and things like that, just know that we can do whatever we want. Your ideas are as good as anyone else's ideas. So I'm going to challenge you for that reason too, to think about what can we do to improve it rather than just identifying what's wrong. So,
we do what we want.
Huh?
We do what we want.
We do what we want. Now skits about. So I want to talk briefly about a couple of things. Customer experience, business, and what's in it for you. So customer experience, we had, during the leadership meeting, we had a customer experience design person who does work for like McDonald's, Best Buy, all these big places. He came and talked to us a little bit about the customer experience. And he had a few companies up on there. It was Apple, Nordstrom, Singapore Airlines. I don't really remember Nordstrom or Singapore Airlines because I don't think I've used either of them. But I know about Apple. I know about services. There are companies that provide a really great service. And someone said something about, well, aren't those really expensive? I mean, those things cost a lot more, right? Well, he said, well, for people who have those things, then I want you to think about something that maybe you spend more money on than you should. You know, maybe there's a cheaper option for it. Maybe you have that iPhone, maybe you have that iPad, and start thinking about, like, why do you do that? Why did you spend more on it? If something else does the same thing, why did you decide to spend more? Is it because of the experience? Is it because of the value you're getting? And it's probably because of those reasons, right? So we really need to think about the value that we provide the customer. In terms of, I mean, we charge a lot of money. We do. Our consultants bill at a high rate, and we bill at a high rate. So we need to make sure we're delivering that value that they need. It's not just telling them, it's not a tactical, we need to do A, B, and C, and we're going to be done. It's going to be how we deliver the message of A, B, and C. Clients don't think rationally. You know, what he said that stuck with me is, an experience is emotional. It's not, you guys might be 100% correct in saying, all right, client, you need to do this, and then this person's going to work with you, and then tell the consultant, hey, I need you to do that. You're right, but is that a good experience? I mean, would the client feel comfortable about that? I mean, I know I just bought my first house this year, and it's a scary experience going through though you're committing 30 years of money to that investment. And I really wanted it to be, and my real estate agent was great. He walked me through it, made me feel comfortable, and I know other people have had really bad experiences, and it was really scary all the way through, especially once they signed the lease, or the mortgage, because they didn't know what to expect next. So it's a very trying period, because whenever someone's making a big expenditure and putting their name on the line, their credit on the line, all those sort of things, you really want to make sure that you feel comfortable, and you really need the person you're working with to be your partner, not be your project manager, just your project manager, right? You need to feel like they're working on it with you. You're almost part of their organization, bridging the gap with Blackbaud. So, sorry to all of this is like very nebulous and out there, but I feel like you guys saw enough other presentations that I just wanted to kind of maybe connect back to what we actually do and why it's important. I'm going to use my hands a lot. So the other thing is, I think we all know that owning the customer experience is very important. But what's the other piece? And everyone says, you know, I bet if we all had one client, that's the only client we had, customer satisfaction would be really high. But can we do that? No. Because we have business. So what is business? Utilization, packages, all these things. Is that stuff going to go away? No, it's not. We've talked a lot about how important customer satisfaction is, but we can't sacrifice business and the metrics and what we owe our stockholders and ourselves at the sake of that. So when we look at things like utilization, when we look at things like packages, these are all attainable targets. And while sometimes it can pose challenges, we can figure out how we can reach those targets, because when we're doing well in the business sense, it makes our lives easier in the experience sense, the employee experience, the customer experience, and just potential for growth. But if we're not meeting our targets, we're busting our ass, aren't we? Just like, y'all know what the last few weeks have been like, the last quarter's been like. We've been really working, and when you're doing stuff like that, you don't have time to focus on practice development, personal development, all those sort of things. So no matter how important all these other things are, we're part of the business. We're a public company, we have obligations, and that's what it is. That's what we signed up for. Every company is like that. If you went out on your own and did project management just for yourself, you got to make some money to pay those bills, right? Same thing, we got to do that. So you guys haven't had any problems with that, but I'm going to ask you guys to take the next step. Let's make sure we all hit our utilization targets this year. They're higher. They're going to be 60%. So we need to hit those goals. What can we do to make that easier for you guys? Think about those things. Let me know. I'm glad to do whatever we can to make that easier. But we also need to do things like packages, have less slippage, be more accurate in our date forecasting and things like that. But in the end, business is business, and we need to make sure we do that in order to be successful in all the other areas. So what's in it for you? I've talked a lot about why this is good for the customer experience, right? Customer experience, great. Business, why this is great for the business. But why is all this? Why is being part of not just a PMO, but our GMBU PMO good for you? What is this going to do for you in the future? Well, you heard Kevin say that there's a lot of responsibility on me this year, but you know what that means? It's a lot of responsibility for all of us. Now you can take that a few different ways. It can be scary, or it can be an opportunity. We have an opportunity to really change the business. And like I said in the last presentation, everyone's going to help us. But we have to drive that change, because we work with all these different people. You know, the PMO leads, I'm going to need you guys to really push. but I know you can do it because, like I said, low-hanging fruit, we can make so many changes on our side, right? So within Blackbaud, you have the opportunity, each of you, to prove yourselves in many different ways, from a business building standpoint, from a practice development standpoint. If you want to do more, let me know. I'm glad to give you a lot of different opportunities and initiatives. We can definitely make sure you get done whatever you would like to accomplish professionally while at Blackbaud. What else is in it for you? Because I know there's life outside of Blackbaud too, right? Well, you're project managers. I think we've gotten a bad rap as project coordinators, project managers at Blackbaud. I don't think we've understood what the career path is. You know, I think we started to get some really good talent in here. I think we've started to build a career path, explaining how we can get to senior project management, PMO leads, all those sort of things. So there's a career path within Blackbaud, but what's there outside of Blackbaud? Every industry uses project managers. Eddie's going to come up in a little bit, Eddie and Crystal are going to come up in a little bit and talk a little bit about project management, what makes a good project manager. Eddie's worked in so many different industries. He got the hat from working with the Army, he's worked with John Deere, he's worked with all these different industries, and it's project management. Because what is project management? Problem solving. How do you get a client from the solution they bought to the solution that it's going to be? And you don't have to know the solution. It helps if you do, but if you don't, what can we do to get the right people to work on it, to get the right process that we get it delivered properly? So we have all the resources. We have a lot of work to do. I know it hasn't been that easy, but it's going to get easier. It might be a little hard work to get to that point, but every hour of effort, think about it as 1 hour of effort you put towards practice development is going to save you 2 hours on down the road per project maybe, you know, and that pays off down the line. And I really want you guys to keep that in mind. So I think we definitely have an obligation to the customer, first and foremost. And if you ever think that business goals are getting in the way of what we deliver to the customer, let me know. I'm sure we can find a way to do both at the same time. We have an obligation to the business to pay for ourselves, really. We can't just do all non-billable work. So we have an obligation to the business. But then Blackbaud, we have an obligation to all of you to make sure that you feel like you're progressing your career. And I really want to make sure, I've talked to a lot of you about that. I said, if you want to leave my team next month, that's fine. I want to figure out what you want and how I can get you there. If you want another job in a year, how can I get you there? I mean, I think it's very easy to do that with our job. We work with so many different departments, and I know some of you guys have already started working with other departments a little bit here and there, and are transitioning to those departments. So I think we've seen the career path, and if you guys see the opportunities, we just need to start. I want you guys to let me know. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I know that sometimes we go from job to job, and that's fine. We just have opportunity here, and I want you guys to feel like you're progressing your career here, as well as helping the customer and helping the business. So with that, I want to, oh, by the way, we're also going to be rewarded for all of this. It's not like you're just sitting there doing all this for free. Customer satisfaction, business targets, professional development, all that stuff ties into your bonus plans. You guys saw what those are. You actually get rewarded the better you do in those things. So hopefully that incentivizes you guys, for you guys to do that as well. So.